listener production.
From the briefing team,
This is The Beefing.
Hey, it's Helen Smith here. Welcome to The Beefing. Today's beef is between Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump. Rosie is currently in Australia touring her one-woman show, and I actually sat down with her and she had this to say about Trump.
It's like there are different rules for him than there have been for any other president, and I think it has to stop immediately or democracy is done in the United States.
So, with that said, let's get into it. Rosie O'Donnell is an American comedian, talk show host, and actress, most famous for hosting The Rosie O'Donnell Show and The View. She's an outspoken activist who has publicly advocated for gay rights, equality, and has taken a clear pro-Palestine stance. And Rosie now lives in Ireland, having moved there after Trump defeated Kamala Harris, saying she won't return to the US until it's safe and equal for all. Enter current US President Donald Trump. Now, Rosie has openly criticised Trump for at least 2 decades, but this started to ramp up when Trump entered politics. But let's take it back a few years. The beginning of their beef was marked by her scathing review of Trump on The View in 2006. Now, at the time, Trump's public persona was associated with The Apprentice, a reality TV series in which contestants competed to win a position as Trump's employee. This show successfully portrayed Trump as a revered business mogul, a persona that many believed as reality rather than a formulated character that was for the show. Now, Rosie refused to allow this narrative to continue without rebuke, refuting claims of his successful business endeavours, reminding audiences since the beginning of their beef of his many bankruptcies.
The people beneath him who he owed money to got shorted out of the money, but he got to try again. And you know what saved him the second time? After his father died, with that money, he paid off all his bankruptcy. This is not a self-made
he's
man.
honorable. He paid off his creditors.
No, he didn't. He didn't pay off the people he owed.
They put you on
Here
a
comes
payment
a
plan.
lawsuit. Get ready. This is going to be good.
Not only did Rosie smack down any claim of Trump's business success, she also slammed his hypocrisy to give the Miss USA winner a second chance, following the controversy of her illegal partying habits, saying this.
He's the moral authority. Left the first wife, had an affair. Left the second wife, had an affair. Had kids both times, but he's the moral compass for 20-year-olds in America. Donald, sit and spin, my friends. I don't enjoy him.
Rosie also made sure to remind the audiences of the difference between the Miss USA pageant, which was based on purely looks, and the Miss America, which offers winners scholarships based on their talents and interests in a social cause, a distinction that her co-host failed to recognise, giving Trump credit for providing women opportunities where Rosie believed it wasn't due. Now, she went on to mock his decision of holding a press conference for the Miss USA winner, Second Chance saga, and noted the convenient timing of a new season of The Apprentice being announced as well. Now, Rosie famously followed this critique with this one-liner. He's going to sue me, but he'll be bankrupt by that time, so I won't have to worry. Side note, he did threaten to sue her multiple times. But back to it. Trump clapped back at Rosie's remarks, calling her a woman out of control, claiming her comments were untrue and saying that he looked forward to taking lots of money from his nice, fat little Rosie. Yuck. Thus, marking the beginning of their ongoing feud. Now, you might be wondering how Rosie knows anything about Trump and even his home life. And the answer is that she has a surprisingly close connection. Rosie was friendly with Trump's first wife and had the inside scoop on their divorce, claiming that she knew the shit that he did. And reportedly, Rosie was outraged about what she learnt about Trump, that she actually banned him from her hugely popular show, The Rosie O'Donnell Show. Now, Trump and Rosie have been back in the spotlight recently, with Trump threatening to revoke Rosie's citizenship after she publicly exiled herself to Ireland, but we'll get into that a little later. Now, throughout this feud, the nature of their criticisms remain consistent on both sides. Rosie challenges the notion that Trump is a successful businessman, calls out his sexist behaviours, reminds audiences that he's a criminal, and slams him for allegedly being a neglectful parent. Now, meanwhile, Trump sticks to insults of a simpler nature. He's quoted saying Rosie is a loser, disgusting both inside and out, a slob, and a favourite of Rosie's is a threat to humanity. Here's an example of when Trump used some of those insults when he offered Rosie $2 million to be on The Apprentice, in which he famously used his catchphrase, "You're fired." But to no one's surprise, Rosie didn't jump at that opportunity.
I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, "Rosie, you're fired."
These comments, though, didn't seem to bother Rosie, who said fat always comes first with him. And Trump's interest in the superficial has always been a point of criticism Rosie likes to call out. And during Trump's first presidential campaign in 2015, when questioned in a presidential debate for calling women he doesn't like fat, pigs, and dogs, Trump responded with this.
Your Twitter account?
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Just let that one sink in for a moment. Moving on, though. Rosie takes her activism and strong stance against Trump very seriously, and for good reason. But in 2017, she even staged a rally calling for resistance against Trump during his first term. But let's get into some of the most recent beef. When Trump said he was considering taking away the citizenship of Rosie, who was born in the United States, posting some of the reasoning as to why to his Truth Social, which included the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interests of our great country and that she's a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America. Okay, Donald.
But most people just say, "Rosie, welcome to Ireland, love. You're welcome here. You're welcome here, darling. Thank you. We hate Trump too. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'll stay."
And how did Rosie respond? Well, she posted a photo of Trump and Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein together, saying, "You are everything that's wrong with America, and I'm everything you hate about what's still right with it. You want to revoke my citizenship? Go ahead and try." The fact that Rosie can get under Trump's skin, the president of the United States, who's arguably one of the most powerful people in the world right now, is kind of iconic. She's living rent-free in Trump's head.
I speak what I consider to be truth to power and, a humanistic approach to politics and to world governments. There has to be civility and decency, and there no longer is.
But that brings us up to date. Trump, president of America, and for Rosie, well, she's continuing her activism, touring around the world, and living her best life, adopting kids, doing Broadway, making art, and occasionally reminding us that there's a, quote, fascist in the White House. But that's it for today's beef between Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump. If you liked this episode, we'd love you to share it with someone else you think might enjoy it as well. It's a really easy way you can support everything we do here at The Briefing. And you can check us out on Instagram or on YouTube at The Briefing Podcast. I'm Helen Smith. Catch you next time.